Ever feel like no matter how hard you try, things just aren't clicking? What if everything you believe about hard work and nonstop effort is actually keeping you from getting the results you want? Sounds controversial, right? Alan Watts introduces us to Wu-Wei, the power of not forcing anything. This counterintuitive approach suggests that aligning with the natural flow might be the key to getting what you want, easily and immediately. Curious to find out how? You know that feeling of swimming against the current? Alan Watts invites us to reflect on the principle of Wu-Wei, which teaches us not to force anything in our actions or endeavors. Think about a musician trying to compose the perfect song. If they try too hard, the melody loses its natural feel. It's like trying to push a river instead of letting it carry you. The trick is to sync up with the natural flow of things, letting spontaneity be our guide. In our day-to-day lives, we can apply this concept in simple ways. Ever notice how when you try to force yourself to sleep, it just doesn't happen? But when you relax and let your mind wander, sleep finds you. The same goes for relationships. Trying to force a connection can actually push people away. But when we're genuine and let interactions happen naturally, we build deeper, more meaningful bonds. Not forcing things is a way to respect the natural rhythm of life and the people around us. Now, this doesn't mean being passive or giving up on our goals. It's about finding that sweet spot between action and acceptance. Imagine a surfer trying to conquer the waves. They can't force them, but they can learn to ride them in harmony. By practicing Wu-Wei, we embrace spontaneity and align our actions with the natural flow. This lets us achieve more authentic and satisfying results without the stress of forcing situations. And who knows what new opportunities might pop up when we stop fighting the current? Sometimes we think practicing Wu-Wei means just doing nothing, but that's a common misunderstanding. It's really about acting at the right moment, putting in effort only when necessary and in a natural way. Think of a judo athlete who uses their opponent's strength to their advantage, aligning with the natural movement instead of resisting it. They don't force the situation. Instead, they harmonize with it, letting spontaneity guide their actions. This shows us how powerful aligning with the natural flow can be in our lives. In everyday life, this principle can be applied in all sorts of ways. For example, when facing a challenge at work, instead of stubbornly sticking to a solution that's not working, we can open our minds to new approaches. By going with the natural flow, we find paths we hadn't considered before. If you're learning a new language, forcing memorization can be frustrating. But if you immerse yourself in the culture, watch movies, chat with native speakers, learning happens more naturally and enjoyably. That's the beauty of not forcing it, letting knowledge flow naturally. This approach isn't about being passive or doing nothing. It's about wisdom in action. It's about knowing when it's the right time to act and when it's better to wait. Picture a fisherman who understands the tides. He doesn't force the sea, but aligns his actions with the natural flow of the waters. By practicing Wu-Wei, we avoid unnecessary and draining efforts, acting with spontaneity and efficiency. And who knows, by living this way, we might uncover new opportunities and paths that once seemed invisible, all thanks to aligning with life's natural flow. Have you noticed how life flows better when we don't force things? Invites us to get in sync with the natural flow, like a sailboat catching the wind instead of rowing against the current. When we grasp the timing and rhythm of things, spontaneity kicks in, and everything seems to fall into place naturally without extra effort. Not forcing is about letting life happen, aligning ourselves with the natural course of events and circumstances around us. For example, imagine a musician improvising during a jam session. They don't force the notes, they let the music flow through them, syncing with the rhythm of the other instruments. Similarly, an athlete in peak condition doesn't overthink every move. They let their body act spontaneously, in tune with the flow of the game. In our daily routines, we can practice not forcing when tackling challenges. If a project at work is stuck, maybe it's time to step back and observe. Aligning with the natural flow can bring new ideas spontaneously, unlocking creativity that was bottled up by pressure. Going with the flow doesn't mean being passive, it's about being alert to the right moment to act. It's like surfing. You can't force the wave, but you can learn to ride it to your advantage. When we align with the natural flow, life feels lighter and opportunities pop up spontaneously. Ever thought about how the best conversations happen without any planning? When we let spontaneity guide our interactions, we forge deeper and more meaningful connections. And who knows what other discoveries await when we embrace this philosophy of not forcing anything and just go with life's natural rhythm. You know, we often see people trying to force spontaneity, thinking they can schedule genuine moments or authentic emotions. But the truth is, lesser virtues chase after this forced spontaneity, while higher virtues simply align naturally without trying. It's like rehearsing a laugh or planning a surprise for yourself. It just doesn't work. Not forcing is the key to letting true spontaneity blossom in our lives. When we allow ourselves to be authentic and let go of the need to control every detail, spontaneity naturally emerges. Think about hanging out with close friends. The best conversations and laughs happen when no one's trying to impress or stick to a script. By aligning with the natural flow of things, we make room for genuine experiences and moments that truly touch our hearts. Spontaneity is like a cool breeze on a hot day. You can't force it, but you can open yourself up to receive it. So instead of trying to seem spontaneous or desperately chasing authentic moments, why not just live in the present? Let life take its course and get in sync with it. Maybe it's time to loosen the reins and let true spontaneity guide us. After all, the best stories and memories come from times when we weren't trying to control everything. And who knows, by adopting this mindset, we might discover new ways to connect deeply with ourselves and others, living in a more aligned and spontaneous way. Often in the hustle and bustle of everyday life, we forget to see the world through a child's eyes. Alan Watts reminds us of the importance of cultivating that childlike curiosity, allowing us to reconnect with the wonder and strangeness of the universe. When we let ourselves be spontaneous and align with life's natural flow, everything seems more vibrant and full of possibilities. Not forcing anything opens us up to experiences we might never have considered, bringing a new perspective to our existence. For example, have you ever noticed how a child can spend hours fascinated by the shapes of clouds or the movement of leaves in the wind? They're not forcing anything. They're just present, soaking up the moment. By adopting this mindset, we can avoid the rigid social rules that often keep us from fully experiencing life. Not forcing our perceptions opens us up to new experiences and insights. Imagine rediscovering joy in simple things, like appreciating a sunset or listening to birds sing in the morning. So, how about setting aside a moment in your day to simply observe the world around you without judgments or expectations? Allow yourself to be curious, spontaneous, and see where that attitude takes you. Maybe you'll discover a new hobby, meet interesting people, or just find inner peace. After all, life is full of mysteries waiting to be discovered. We just need to align with the natural flow and let spontaneity guide us. And who knows, by adopting this approach, we might not only connect more deeply with ourselves, but also inspire others to do the same. Now that you're aware of the power of Wu-Wei, what's stopping you from aligning with life's natural flow? Maybe it's time to stop forcing things and let spontaneity guide your actions. Imagine the opportunities that could arise when you embrace this philosophy. Are you ready to take that step and transform your reality? If you want to continue on this journey of self-discovery, don't miss our latest video. Unveil the secret, how to talk to the universe and transform your life. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss any content. Let's explore more together about how to not force anything and align with the natural flow.